Okay, so we are opened up to the next clean page in our math notebooks, and we are ready for today's math notes. So today, we are titling our page 13.2, Evaluate Expressions in Today's Date, 3/10/21. Now, as I was saying to some of you earlier, we've been practicing using the order of operations, and when we wrote down the P for parentheses for PEMDAS, I had mentioned that we see parentheses, but also two other grouping symbols, brackets and braces. Today, we are going to practice using all three of them and knowing which ones do we do first. What if there are brackets inside of parentheses or parentheses inside of brackets? What do we do first? And we're going to practice with that today. Thank you for giving me a thumbs up when you're ready. Yosias, do you have a question?
Yesterday,
yes.
On the homework, it was just the order of operations.
Yes.
But Saturday said Ben.
They said what?
Ben.
What letter did it start with? B. So was that like brackets? Okay, yep. So 5th grade, you'll find that there are different acronyms for the order of operations. We use PEMDAS, so parentheses, P for parentheses. Sometimes you'll see BEMDAS, B for brackets. Sometimes you will see GEMDAS with a G, and the G stands for grouping symbols. So that means parentheses, brackets, or braces. So sometimes there are different acronyms. We remember PEMDAS. Philip, face the front, please. Okay, are we ready? Okay, so we're at the top, we are going to write down our examples of the three types of grouping symbols again. So we have parentheses, brackets, and braces. And again, notice with the braces, basically what you're doing is a curve, then a point, then a curve. And same with the right side. Curve, a point, and a curve. So it's almost like a 3, except with a 3, instead of just doing curve, curve, you put a point in between both of the curves. So give me a thumbs up when you have these at the top of your paper. And I made mine nice and big so that I can really see, especially with the braces, like there is a point there. The brackets, I can see they're all straight lines, and with the parentheses, I can see it's all curved. Thank you for giving me a thumbs up when you are ready. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Yes. What's up?
How come we have to write the braces like 0 and then what?
Because sometimes you need to group 3 separate things, so you need 3 different types of grouping symbols so you know which is together, like which numbers are together. So we'll talk about that. In 5th grade, it might feel weird right now to make the braces, but as you write them more, you will get used to them. You will get used to them. Well,
Right one's the braces, it kind of looks like it's
yeah, it does. It's easier for me to make the brace on the left versus the right for whatever reason. I don't know. But, yeah. Voice is off. All right, are we ready to move on? Okay. So, the next thing we're going to do, I'm going to show you an example, and this is going to demonstrate how or what order we solve parentheses, brackets, and braces in. So, waiting for voices and noises and humming to be off. Thank you. So, here, we work from the inside to the outside. So if we look at this example here, we have an opening bracket, and I color-coded them to match the ones that I have up top. So purple, opening bracket, brace, my bad, opening brace. Then we have 2 plus. Then we have an opening bracket in blue. Then we have 5 minus. Then we have an opening parentheses in green. And then 6 times 3. Then we close the parentheses. Divided by 4. Then we close the bracket. And then we close the brace. So we work from the inside to the outside. It looks like it's hard, but 5th grade, it's really not. And I'm going to show you that today. So if we're following the rule, work from the inside to the outside, here, I'm going to wait actually until you have this all written down, and then I'm going to explain it a little bit better. So give me a thumbs up when you have this all written down, including the numbers up above, the 1, 2, and 3. Awesome. And the note that says work from the inside to the outside. That's very important that you write it down. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Frankie, do you have a question?
Yeah.
What's your question?
1, 2, 3 accented?
No. That's the order we would do these in. And so I'm going to explain that in a moment. Drew, what's your question? Oh, you're ready? Okay. We're counting up. Yeah. I'll explain it in just a moment. Thank you. I'll explain it in just a moment, okay? Then you can ask a question if you still have one. All right, waiting for a few people to finish up, and then I will explain. Some of you might be understanding just by looking at it, but I want to make sure I explain. Thank you. Let's give you about one more moment to finish up. Thank you, Lena. Thank you, Chanel. All right, so 5th grade, I want your eyes up on the smartboard. Eyes up on the smartboard while I explain this. So what it means by work from the inside to the outside. I would look at this entire problem, and I'd say, okay, on the outside, I have braces. Well, I need to start on the inside. So the next level, I go from braces, then we have brackets, right? Then in the brackets, I have parentheses. Now, is there any other grouping symbols inside the parentheses? No. So I would solve what's in the parentheses first, which is all the way inside. Then when I get that answer, then I move to what's inside the brackets. So that would be 5 minus, and then whatever 6 times 3 is divided by 4. So then I would follow the order of operations for what's inside the brackets. Get that answer? And then I move to the very outside, which is the braces. So whatever number I got from solving them in the brackets, I would then do 2 plus that. So I start on the very inside, whatever grouping symbol's in there. This one, it happens to be parentheses. So that's step 1. That's why I put a 1. Then I move to the next level, kind of, which would be step 2. Then I move to the far outside, which would be my 3rd and final level. Does that make sense? All right. So when we have multiple grouping symbols, like symbols within, I go to the very inside, solve that first, and then I go to the next step out, and then all the way out. Now, sometimes 5th grade, I could have something like this, and then maybe on the far outside of all the brackets, maybe I have a -1. So I would solve the very inside first, the parentheses, then I'd solve the brackets, then I'd solve the braces, and then once I got the answer from all that, then I would do whatever's outside of the far outside brackets, braces, or parentheses. Yes, Frankie?
So for like the bracket,
Yes.
so do you do -5 first or divide by 4?
Well, what does our order of operations tell us to do? Divide by 4. Yep. So what you're doing is each time you're in like parentheses, brackets, or braces, you're following the order of operations inside of that. So parentheses, we just have one operation. So we do our 6 times 3. But then when we move out to our brackets, we have 5 minus, and then, so 6 times 3 would get us 18. So you basically have 5 minus 18 divided by 4. So we need to follow the order of operations for what's in the brackets. So we would first do the 18 divided by 4, which is?
48.
Yeah. And then 5 minus that, so that'd be a decimal. Yep. And that would solve, or 5 minus that, yep, so that would solve what's in the brackets, and then we would take that answer and add it to 2. So when you're within a grouping symbol, you're following PEMDAS within that. Then you move out to the next one. Then you're following PEMDAS for that. And then you move out to the last one, and then you're following PEMDAS for that. Mackenzie, we do not have to solve this one. Okay. Yeah, so it's like another level to our steps. Okay, so what I want us to do, okay, this is what we're going to do. Let me grab a Post-it. We are going to solve 3 of them together, and then you will have practice problems. Capiche? Okay, so I want you to label below parentheses and brackets. Go ahead and label that. Parentheses and brackets. So we are going to do a problem with just parentheses. Then we're going to do a problem with parentheses and brackets. And then we will do a problem with parentheses, brackets, and braces. So just label parentheses and brackets for now. Will, what's your question?
So, I have a question for the that.
Yes.
Like that.
This one?
So if it's 6 times 3 divided by 4, then you minus 5 from it?
No, then you take 5 and minus that. Right? We work left to right. We don't work right to left. We work left to right. Frankie.
So since you work left to right, you go 6 times 3 is 8.
Yep.
You divide by 4?
Yep, because then now we're in the brackets, right? And we have to follow PEMDAS. Remember, the left to right, that's like if I had a multiplication and a division, like in the same bracket, we do that step together. So I would do that left to right. Okay? But since it's subtraction and division, they are 2 separate steps. So I would do division first because that step comes before adding and subtracting. Jack. Yes. No, not usually. No, a few have been decimals. Most of them have been whole numbers. 5th grade, I only told on Jack P because he had a question. The rest of your voices should be off. Whoever's clicking something metal, please stop. Okay, so we're going to do the parentheses one first. Okay, so I covered up the brackets one. We're going to start with just parentheses. So go ahead, write down that problem. And then I'd like you to go ahead and solve it. This should be very similar to problems we've already done. So we have 4 times 3 in one set of parentheses, plus 3 times 4 in a second set of parentheses. So this is when we have to listen to the left to right, because we have 2 sets of parentheses, so we would start with the one on the left, then we move to the right. So go ahead, solve it. Give me a thumbs up when you have solved it. Thank you. And thank you for keeping your voice off once you have solved it. What's up? Yep.
Most of the problems going to be like just parentheses and then brackets and verses and then brackets and others.
You'll have a whole mixture of them. So this one is just parentheses. The next example we're going to have is parentheses and brackets together. So we're going to practice that, okay? All right, are we ready to look at this together? All right, you have another moment. Voices need to be off. Some of you are putting your want to talk to someone next to you above the need that your other classmates have for quiet while they are solving. All right, now let's look at it together. So, when I'm looking at this, PEMDAS, and did you guys notice that I wrote PEMDAS off to the side of my notes? I always write down PEMDAS when I'm solving something with order of operations. I always group my M and my D and then my A and my S. I always put the note left to right and inside to outside. Is there any rule that says you couldn't put this on your homework or your test? No. I always put this 5th grade because even as an adult, even as your teacher, sometimes it's hard for me to remember, okay, which step do I do next? And am I working from the inside to the outside or the outside to the inside? So I recommend putting this off to the side of your paper if you need that extra guidance. So with our parentheses, our P stands for parentheses, and that really stands for brackets, parentheses, brackets, and braces. Well, I just have parentheses here. And since I have 2, I need to work left to right. So I'm going to start with the one on the left. 4 times 3 is 12. 3 times 4 is 12. And then I still have this addition symbol. So now I have 12 plus 12. And what does that equal, 5th grade? 24. Please raise your hand if you got 24 as your answer. Okay, so we feel pretty comfortable with just parentheses, right, 5th grade? Okay, so now under the brackets, this one we're combining parentheses and brackets. So go ahead first, write this down. Hey, you guys, I did not ask for comments, whether they're serious or, I don't know, sarcastic. Don't need them. Write it down. So 4 times. Then we have an opening bracket and opening parentheses. Then 3 plus 6, we close the parentheses, times 2, then we close the bracket. So we're going to solve this one together. You go all the way in. So what's the one way in there? Yep. Yep. So we need to follow PEMDAS and work left to right. But since I have brackets and parentheses, I need to work inside to outside. So raise your hand if you know what we need to do first with this one. What do we need to do first with this one? What's all the way inside? Jack P? Yes, we need to add 3 plus 6. We need to go all the way to the inside. That is what's all the way in there. So our brackets, 3 plus 6. What is 3 plus 6, 5th grade? 9. Okay, so 5th grade, what I recommend doing, when you have solved, in this case, all the way in the parentheses, put the answer, and then you don't need to write the parentheses again, but you should be writing the brackets. So, bracket, and then times 2, bracket, and then I still have the 4 times. All right, so what is my next step? What do I do now? Now that I solve what's in parentheses, now what do I solve? Zoe? Yes, now we solve 9 times 2 because now we have what's in the brackets. So, what is 9 times 2? It is 18. Now, do I need to put the brackets again?
No.
No, because I solved what's in them. So I just need to bring down the 4 and the multiplication symbol. I could have put it further over. I just decided to bring it straight down. So now, I have 4 times 18. What is our answer on the count of 3? 1, 2, 3.
72.
72. Yep. All right. How did you feel about that one with brackets involved? Okay. All right. Okay. Ready to rock. Ready to rock. I'm going to show you the braces one. So what I want you to do is you can go down a few lines, label your braces section. You should be able to write without talking. Thank you, Will, for showing me you're ready quietly. I'm going to show you the problem for the braces. So this one will have parentheses, brackets, and braces. Just remember you start at the very inside and work your way to the outside. If you're in a parentheses or a brackets that has, let's say, multiplication and division, that's when you work left to right, is when you have 2 of the same step together. I want you to try and solve this one on your own. Give me a thumbs up when you are ready. Capiche? All right, so here is your problem for the braces one, right here. So we have opening braces, or opening brace, then an opening bracket, then we have 6 times opening parentheses, 3 plus 2, then we close the parentheses, close the bracket, minus 3, and then we close the braces. So start on the inside, work your way to the outside. Give me a thumbs up when you are done or ready. Thank you for giving me a thumbs up when you are done. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for giving me a thumbs up when you are ready. Awesome. Thank you. Elena, do you have a question?
Yes.
Okay.
If we want challenge, can we solve with a one that we write down?
Sure, if you'd like to, you can do that.
We have to bring down the braces.
Okay, so if you haven't solved them yet, yes, bring on the braces. You can take them away as you solve them. That's inside that. You solve it from the second.
Oh my gosh!
Hey, people are still working, that's great. Okay. What's inside? Bracket. So what's inside the bracket? And then you don't have to bring down the bracket. You have to bring down the brace. Why don't you write this bracket you have down there? Yeah? All right. Let's solve and look at this together. See if we all got the right answer. I'm waiting for you. You are wasting your own time. All right. So if I'm looking at this problem, I know, because of my notes over here, I need to work from the inside to the outside. So if I do that, on the way outside, we have braces. Then we go in one kind of level, we have brackets. Then I go in one more time, and then I have parentheses. And I don't have anything else inside the parentheses as far as grouping symbols go. So I need to solve 3 plus 2 first. Show me on your hand, what is 3 plus 2? 3 plus 2 is what? It is 5. So then, fifth grade, Max isn't even in our math class, and he's telling you to stop talking. So stop talking. So I solved what's in parentheses, so then I need to bring down everything else. I don't need to bring down the parentheses again because I solved what was inside them. So I'll put the bracket, and then I have the times 6 over here, my other bracket. Then I have my brace, my opening brace. Then off to the right here, I have minus 3, and then I have my other brace. Okay, so again, inside to the outside. Well, on the very outside, I have the braces. I move in one level, now I have the brackets. And can I go in any further than that, fifth grade, right now? No. So now I need to solve 6 times 5. On the count of 3, tell me what 6 times 5 is. 1, 2, 3. 30. It is 30. 6 times 5 is 30. So that's my answer for inside the brackets. Now, since I solved what was inside the brackets, I don't need to bring the brackets down, but I do need to bring down the braces, and the minus 3. So now, I just have 30 minus 3. On the count of 3, I want you to tell me what 30 minus 3 is. 1, 2, 3. 27. How many of you got 27 as your answer? Okay. How many of you made a silly mistake? Okay. All right. Ready to rock? Thank you, Mackenzie. Ready to rock? Let's title a practice section. I have 2 problems for you. So practice section. That's okay. Thank you for giving me a thumbs up when you're ready. I appreciate it. Awesome. Elena, do you have a question?
Yes.
Okay.
How many practice problems are there?
2. Okay. Thank you, Grayson. All right, I'm going to show you the 2 problems. Make sure you copy them down carefully, and as soon as you're done writing them, you can solve them. When you're done, give me a thumbs up so I know you're ready to look at them together. Then you can quietly read, write, or draw. Capiche? All right. Here are your 2 practice problems. You should not be talking right now. So number 1, we have an opening bracket and 6 minus, then an opening parentheses, 3 times 2, then we close the parentheses, close the bracket, and then on the outside of the bracket we have plus 4. For number 2, we have the opening brace, then we have 8 times, then an opening bracket, 1 plus, then our opening parentheses, 20 minus 6, and we close the parentheses, close the bracket, close the braces, and outside of the braces we have divided by 2. So again, go ahead and solve these on your own. Give me a thumbs up when you're ready to check your work and your answer as a class. Don't forget to start on the inside and work your way to the outside. Make sure you're coming back and asking me questions if you have any. That's why I'm here. Thank you.
Alright, so is this question first? Because I feel like I made a silly mistake right here. Or
Are you showing all of your work, like going down to the level?
because I did the back 14 right there, and then the plus 1, 16, and then times 8 is there, so then I got 120, and then divided by 2. Oh, did you ever post like in your library? I think there's a post up here. There's like a sports book.
And you're on the level for it. You sure, Jack?
Yeah.
Yes. 12 and we're always at like 0. So so for like 1,000, we were at 2 zeros. 2,000.
Make sure you're asking me questions if you have them. All right, fifth grade, are we ready to look at these together? Is there anyone who needs more time? Okay, let's return to our seats then. Let's return to our seats. And we are going to look at these together. All right, so EOCs, close your book. Leila, put away your coloring utensils. All right, so starting with number 1. I know I need to work from the inside to the outside. Then if needed within each, whether parentheses, brackets, or braces, I work left to right and I follow PEMDAS. So if I go all the way inside, on the outside I have +4. Then I have brackets. Then I have parentheses. So I need to solve what's in parentheses first. 3 times 2 is what, 5th grade? 6. Yep, so 6. Then I bring down everything else that I haven't done yet. So I solve what's in parentheses, so I don't need to put parentheses. I'll put my closing brackets and +4 on the right. Then I would put the minus and 6 and opening brackets to the left. All right, so now again, outside of everything I have +4, then I have my brackets. So I need to solve that next. So 6 minus 6, show me in your hands, what is 6 minus 6? It is 0. Yep. So 6 minus 6 is 0. And then I bring down anything else I haven't done yet. So +4. 5th grade, on the count of 3, tell me what 0 plus 4 is. 1, 2, 3. Like I said, next time when I say on the count of 3, you shouldn't be shouting it out before I get to 3. That's just kind of rude. So 4. Raise your hand if you got 4 for number 1. Okay. All right. Now let's look at number 2. So for number 2, on the very outside, and you guys, if you didn't get number 1 correct, make sure you're writing down my steps, because then you can use your notes. You can use these notes on your homework. So make sure you're writing it down correctly. It doesn't do you any good if you have incorrect notes. That's actually counterproductive and unhelpful. Okay, so then number 2, on the way outside, I have divided by 2. Then I have braces. Go into the next level, I have brackets. Then go all the way inside, I have parentheses. So I'm going to solve what's in parentheses first. So 20 minus 6 is 14. Then I copy down everything I haven't done. So brackets, or closing brackets, closing braces, and divided by 2 to the right. Then I have my +1 opening bracket times 8 opening brace to the left. Okay, now, again, on the outside I have divided by 2. I go in, I have braces, then I have brackets, and I don't have any other grouping symbols inside. So 1 plus 14 is what, 5th grade? 15. It is 15. So then I don't need to put my brackets, but I do need to put my closing brace and divided by 2 to the right. Then I need my times 8 and opening brace to the left. 5th grade, I understand some of you think this is easy, but some of your classmates are trying to follow along with me. When you're tapping pencils and whispering to the people around you, you're putting your want to talk above their need to listen. So knock it off, stop being selfish, and turn off your voices. I don't know how many times I can say it. It's been about 4 in this one math lesson. So, on the very outside, I've divided by 2. Then I just have one set of grouping symbols left, and that is our braces. So 8 times 15. Who can raise their hand and tell me what 8 times 15 is? Drew.
120.
It is 120. Thank you. So 120. So since I solved what's in braces, then I just say my divided by 2 now. On the count of 3, Please tell me what 120 divided by 2 is. 1, 2, 3.
60.
It is 60. Please raise your hand if you got 60 as your answer. All right. I would like you, before I tell you your homework, close your eyes. Please close your eyes. Show me 1 through 5. How are you feeling about parentheses, brackets, and braces with the order of operations? 1 through 5, nice and high, show me. 1 through 5. How are we feeling? Philip, show me a number, 1 through 5. All right, hands down. Please take out your workbooks and open up to page 745. That's the one I always forget. Okay, go ahead and look it up.
Oh, I found my table.
You did? Good. That's awesome, Drew. So 745. Not quite. 745. Please circle numbers 5 through 8. So 5, 6, 7, 8. Number 13. Number 16. And then number 18 and 19. I'll say that again. We're on page 745. You should be circling numbers 5 through 8. Number 13. Number 16. Number 18. And number 19. If you want more of a challenge, you can do some of the homework problems I'm not having you do. Just make sure you get those ones done. Capiche? All right, you guys do have a little bit of work time, which is awesome. I was a little worried that you might not with our chatting, but you do have some work time, so I will turn on work music. Nice job.